Hello everyone. Today that will be my probably first session about multi-agent applications and Waylay Studio. And my first video was introductory and pretty long if you like, but I had to actually explain quite a few concepts before anything else. So what we learned in the first video session was about building the multi-agent applications. I talked about session context, if you like a context video, which is a short memory which you can use as you're doing a longer conversation so that there is a memory and that agent can remember the previous answers that it gave. Then we actually covered the system prompt. We also covered the tools. We also said that tools can be any API endpoint. And in a Waylay context, tools can be as well CRM flows or rules or machine learning models and so forth and so forth. In my second video, I mostly talk about putting multiple agents together. And I started with a rather basic concept where basically we had another application that was making decision which agents to call. And for that, I used the router concept, if you like, that was responsible for routing which agents to call. There are places where actually want to do that through the external applications. You say, okay, this agent has this role, it has to answer that, and vice versa. And for that, I use the LLM as a router. And just maybe as a comment, often the LLMs are used as the guardrail frameworks as well, because they can be used to actually monitor or as well to some extent guide or prevent some offensive content to get through the application, if you like. Today I am gonna show another way to build the multi-agent applications, and that will be probably more in context of what people actually think when we talk about mixing different agents, because they will have to do collaboration. And unlike in this case, where I was basically using LLM to simply route an agent that needs to be called, in this concept that I'm actually going to show today, I will be using a LLMs as tools, or rather, multi-agent application, multi-agent will be exposing their capabilities as tools. What does it mean? Is that each of the agent will be presented to, if you like, a master agent as a tool itself. And then behind that, each of these agents can have its own set of tools. So in that context, there is not so much of a difference, but you can think of that agents grouping a particular subject and then being used again in a very similar way as we do it if we just expose each of the API endpoints and capabilities as a tool. Now for that I have created in the first session, I created a rather elaborate HVAC diagnostic um, agent. I have slimmed it down a little bit. Reason being is that I just want to start proposing grouping tools for a given subject. You do not want to have an agent which is kind of a jack of all trades. And this one can basically get your list of HVACs. It can also as well do root cause analysis. It can find the remediation. Uh, Even though I cheated, I have actually added one as a messenger, even though it should have been the third agent to start from. Now, what I have created in my second session was the agent that can respond on questions about the weather. And there again, I had three different tools exposed. One of them was to get you the current weather. The other ones to give you the forecast, and the third one was again using the LLM to give you general information about the weather. So, for instance, if I say what is the current weather in London, basically it's gonna call uh, this one here, and if I would like to ask for a forecast, then it would take the next API to do the same thing. And that's basically what you see here. I have now just created one session that resulted in me receiving that as well. So let me just delete that. And similarly, I had something here which was about, like I said, HVAC diagnostic tests. Now, in my, if I what I call a super agent application now, I actually had now to describe these agents as the tools because I expose them here. When you see these different IDs, that means that I'm exposing these um, agents as a separate tools within another agent. And that's what's actually happening here. So you can say, okay, I can give you up-to-date information about the weather, assets, inventory, diagnostic tests, and so forth and so forth. Now let's just do the test. And for this video as well, I've decided not to have a different, or rather to have each of the agents its own session IDs. And I will speak about it in some other videos because there are times where you want to actually all agents to share the same session, and sometimes you do not want them to do that. Okay, so let's just try something very simple. I'm just going to ask the same question as before. What is the weather in Berlin? Yeah. Now, this time, this agent here, it has to actually route that to one of these two agents. And this is what we're going to see here. So here is that we have got a session about current weather in Berlin. And this was the answer that was sent here. And it was then simply then followed up here. Okay. So if I say now something like, give me um, list of assets that are not further than 1,000 kilometers from that place. Uh, Now notice what I'm doing now. I'm actually now gonna invoke another agent, but also gonna use this one to basically say you have to calculate the distance between Berlin. I said this place, which meant that I had to use the session memory of the calling agent because it knew that we are talking about the Berlin, and then give me the list of let's say 9 or 10 HVACs which are around this location. That's what actually you can see here. What happened here is that I got a list, and that was then sent back to the calling um, agent here, and then basically just tag the answer here. Now I can as well do something else. I can do something like run the diagnostic test for HVAC 1. And this time, because I have not sent any data yet, this is probably going to fail. I will need to start pushing some data, but let's just make sure that I have this one covered. I need to look at this guy here, and it's going to just say at one moment, well, there I have no data to run because this API call here, the latest metrics, will probably return the empty set. So that's what you actually see here. And it seems that I'm not able to do that. Okay, so very good. So let me now take some data set again. So just gonna push a couple of data points and let's do it again and just say, please do it again. And now this time I'm gonna actually go back here and we'll see now two calls being executed. So let's see first the answer. Okay, so what you see now, actually few things have happened. I actually ran the diagnostic test and it says false. So let's see what happened here. So let me just zoom in here. Is that first time we got the empty set, the next time first we had a tool call to get the latest metrics. Now it was not empty anymore. And then the second call was called to basically trigger that. And then this was the answer that I have received. Like I said, this was supposed to be a rather short video, and with this coming back to what we have seen today, was that I have exposed each of these agents as a separate tools to the calling one, and basically just stack them together and use them in my bot application, if you like, to test this end to end. Thank you very much. Bye bye.